Hello, welcome back to my channel, Thrifty Day. My name is Leah. I'm the creator behind Thrifty Day. Today's episode is going to be a journal with me, and it's going to be specifically a journal with me that focuses on what I journal about when I have nothing to journal about. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. You want to be creative, you are feeling creative, but honestly, you just don't have anything to journal about. So that's why I wanted to do this episode. My past couple of weeks have been very full, but they've been mostly planning, not necessarily memory keeping. And that's really what I wanted to do, was memory keep in my personal creative journal. So rather than try to force some sort of memory keeping moment, I thought it would be fun to print pictures of lyrics. I love songs. I have a very special song for everyone in my family, and I thought that would be fun to journal about and actually do some writing journal. And then I pulled out scraps and some random paper dolls I already had printed and just lots of little odds and ends. And I thought, let's put it all together and challenge creativity rather than trying to force creativity. So I do have a song for everyone in my family, including my dogs. And so all I did was screenshot the lyrics over on Spotify, I believe. I print them out on my little zinc personal printer by Kodak. And I decide to make a layout sort of centering those song lyrics. Those photos on that little Kodak printer actually print on sticker paper, so that's really fun. So now all I need to do is find a couple of pages because I do think it's going to take a couple. I know that this page will likely be very heavy in writing, so I'm sort of trying to count how many lyrics I have and decide how many pages to use. I settle on this one. It's just a vintage like workbook, children's storybook page. And I decide to cover it because I do know I want to write. So I pull out these very vintage paper. I don't even know what kind of paper they are. I found them at an estate sale. And they have like very thin sort of lines and printing on them. It's very difficult to pick up on camera, but they do have print on them. So it just makes it a little more interesting in my mind. So I just use my glue stick. I glue it down onto one side. And I know I want to put the yellow piece on the other side. And at first I thought, oh, this makes such a nice pocket, but I don't really need a pocket. So I decide to use my ruler and just trim off that extra bit. I, of course, save that scrap because we all do. That's what we do as junk journal makers. We just save scraps, right? So I decide to glue the yellow piece on the other side. I use a large amount of glue. You know me, I'm an overgluer. I am unapologetically an overgluer. And because I am so dedicated to overgluing, I am proud to say that nothing ever comes out of my journals. And I have journals that date back almost 30 years. So I will continue my overgluing process for the sake of the future, right? So while you watch me overglue, if you are new, be sure to say hi, introduce yourself in the comments. It's always fun to connect and chat. I love building community. That is probably what my biggest hope is on any of my social media platforms, is to build community, especially with like-minded people who love to create. Also, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. That helps my channel, and I truly appreciate it so much. So now I am just going to add this thick washi tape. I got this washi tape at Crush and Touch, that is in Highland Park in Los Angeles. So if you are in the Southern California area, be sure to head there. It is my favorite stationery store. I love it so much. I was actually really excited. I don't use them on this layout, but I got new washi tape yesterday at Daiso. So many cute little floral prints. I will have to show you because, like I said, I don't use them in this layout for whatever reason. I just didn't use a lot of washi tape, but I was very excited about it. And I do have another tutorial coming where I got other more solid washi tape for. I am going to be doing a sewn upcycled composition book junk journal tutorial for you all here on YouTube. I already have one on Patreon, but I do have another one I'll be making here, and I bought very specific washi tape for it. It's basic, but the colors were more specific, so I'm kind of excited about that. I'm going to get started on that very soon. So let me know where you get your washi tape. I feel like I get mine everywhere. I've gotten them at yard sales. I've purchased them at small craft stores, large craft stores. I get it everywhere. But I would love to hear where some of your favorite places are, since we all use so much of it. These are just some paper dolls I found in my stash a while ago. They are paper dolls from my personal collection. I scanned them and then I printed them out. I do have similar paper dolls if you are on my Patreon. I have similar paper dolls as free digitals if you are part of my Patreon. So if you wanted any Patreon information, all of that is linked in the description box down below. So my other true confession here is that I don't like fussy cutting. So even doing this one dress was like painful. And I don't do a very good job. I do love the way it looks, but as you can see, I'm just sort of rushing through it. I don't do a great job. So I'm going to show you my little trick if you were like me, somebody who doesn't love fussy cutting, is that what it's called? But you do like the look. I cut my piece out and then I get my Tim Holtz Distress ink, and then I go all the way around, and I feel like it covers all of those spaces that I didn't cut so well, and there's still like white part. Yeah, just break out that Distress ink, and it really just covers up all of your mess. I do love this dress though, isn't it pretty? I actually used it in my upcycle composition book too, because I found 2 sheets of the exact same paper dolls. So why let them go to waste? They're so pretty. I love them. I love paper dolls. So I'm just going to use my glue stick and I'm going to stick it right on the page. This has nothing to do with song lyrics or anything else. It was just a scrap I wanted to use and it made the page pretty. So while there is a lot of sort of sentimental moments in this layout, a lot of the scraps really have nothing to do with the layout. It just was stuff I had and wanted to use, like this doily. I actually can't remember what collection this is from, but you can find a lot of printed doilies over on Etsy. Johanna Alyssa, she has a lot in her shop. Emma Durans also has a lot of beautiful doilies in her shop. So go over to Etsy, support some small businesses, and it really is a wonderful way to make your journal a little bit brighter and look a little more vintage, and it's very easy and inexpensive. And once again, because I didn't really cut this in any sort of rhyme or reason, I just used my Distress ink, and then this is on sticker paper, so I'm going to stick it right on the page, and it makes a very easy sort of decorative element to your layout. So now I just want to make sure I've left myself enough room to journal about each and every one of these little song bits. I know that that Ferdinand page was already on there. It was from an old book, and Ferdinand always makes me think of my Barley, my big sweet boy who we lost last year. And I stuck that in there just because I love seeing it. It just makes me think about him. And so I knew I would put his song lyrics on there. And I had this extra scrap, so I'm just going to use transparent tape to stick it onto the center of the layout. That way it adds sort of an extra page in case I need more room for my lyrics. So by adding this little scrap, I know now that I'll have plenty of room to journal and add my song lyric stickers. I apologize if you can hear all the noise in the background. I usually do my voiceovers either in my studio or in my garage so that the sound is a little bit better. But right now, my little Winnie, my daughter's dog, who I call my little grandpuppy, is asleep on my lap, and we're just so cozy. But I'm near the kitchen. You can hear the ice maker. You can hear the dogs snoring. You can hear cars whizzing by. But you know what? I just thought, this is a good moment. We're just going to do VO. We're going to go with it. So I do apologize if you can hear, all the extra noises. So I found this label. I believe it was from an old Your Creative Studio box, and it was the perfect color. So I decided to just add it on the bottom of that Ferdinand page so that I can journal about my Barley. I do have an entire junk journal that was handmade for me by Mini Pug Journals, Jasmine at Mini Pug Journals. I'll link her information down below. She actually created a journal and gifted it to me, and I use it as sort of a way for me to honor Barley and his life and all the happiness that he gave me and my family. You can actually see that video several videos back. I will link it down below. And but I still love putting him in my journal because I think about him every single day. So now you see me trimming up all of the lyrics, and I'm just going to sort of space them out on the pages. This is how you take them off. They are stickers. I do love this. My best friend Ashley bought me this little printer for Christmas, and he is just so incredibly thoughtful. to have purchased this. It's such a fun little tool to have in your arsenal, especially for a layout like this. So thank you so much, Ashley. He's also an artist and he creates and paints gnomes. You can find him at the Gnome Home Store. I will link his information down below if you wanted to follow. Any account that I mention in this video, I will of course link in the description box. It is so wonderful to share other artists, other creators. I think that's a beautiful way to build community. And so if you have a shop or a YouTube, please reach out, leave a comment. I would love to follow and support because I do feel like that's a beautiful thing that happens here on YouTube. We connect. So I have a few more to add, and originally I think I had kind of thought I would just do 3 on that page, but I actually end up doing 4, and I love the way it looks. So I know a lot of us love quotes. You could do this with quotes as well. Like if you went to Pinterest, you can find, your favorite quotes, and they kind of look decorative or artistic, and you can just download the photo and then print it either on your printer or on a personal printer. I love doing it with lyrics because music is so important to me. Actually, music is very important to everyone in my family. And so I've just always sort of naturally had a song for everyone. My oldest daughter, her song is Little Star by Madonna. She was born in 1999. So the Ray of Light album was very big and popular back then. And I really connected with that song, Little Star. So that always makes me think of Lizzie. The song Happy Days, specifically the Glee version by when Leah Michele is singing, always makes me think of Hannah. She's a big Glee fan, and she always asks, "Are you happy?" And she says, "I'm happy. Are you happy?" And so that always makes me think of my sweet Hannah. And the song by the Dixie Chicks, Wide Open Spaces. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. My youngest daughter is graduating from high school, and she is going off to college. And the theme for her graduation party is going to be Wide Open Spaces. And we love that song. And I'm going to stop talking about it before I start crying. So those are my songs for my girls. I also have a song for my husband by Keith Urban. And I have songs for my dogs. I think it's a beautiful way to feel and to connect with people you love. I don't know. I just love song lyrics. I've always very much connected in that way. So I had the perfect amount of space, and even when I turn that little mini page, I actually have like extra space, which is kind of nice. So I went through my stash and I found an old family picture. I will get that out in a moment and show you that it fits perfect. It's like a Polaroid style, and I just stick it right on the other side. I have to say, I feel like this is exactly what I needed. I needed to just be creative and sort of feel emotions. There's a lot going on in my life. There's a lot of change. My oldest daughter is graduating with her master's degree. My youngest daughter is graduating high school and leaving for college. There's just so many sort of life-changing moments happening. And I just really wanted to sort of be very present and talk about it. Remember the good times, be in the present, and look forward to the future. So this layout was exactly what I needed. Now I'm going to do my written journaling, and I'm going to use my sort of journal board. I made that on Patreon, and whenever I do my journaling, I put that underneath whatever I am writing on, and it really helps make that process a lot easier, especially as our journals start to get much more bulky. So now I've finished my journaling off camera, so you didn't have to watch me, write for what was actually probably almost an hour. But after I was finished, I did realize that I wanted to use my brand new stapler that I love so much and add this piece of vintage, it's not ribbon. Actually, what it is it's a scrap. I don't know. I think I made a journal. I can't even remember now. But I ripped the fabric because that's what I always do since I can't cut a straight line. And I was left with this really long piece of vintage fabric. And right away I saved it because I knew, even though it was very thin, I would be able to use it as a ruffle in my journal. And this seemed like the perfect time. So I just staple it right on the side of that Ferdinand book cover. And it adds such a really beautiful little touch. And I am almost done with this layout, and I can't even tell you how happy it makes me. It was just what I needed today. And I cannot tell you how much I love this stapler. I love this new stapler. Isn't it funny how much happiness a tool can bring you? Anyway, I'm going to give you a closer look at my layout. I hope that this video inspired you to create, even if you don't feel like you have anything very important to journal about. You can always find something. So be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe if it was content that you were interested in. I hope everybody has a really great week as we head into the new week. And I will see you again in another video very soon. It will be a sewn junk journal tutorial, and I can't wait to share it with you. So let me know what you thought about this video in the comments below. I appreciate all of your very kind words and feedback. So have a really great week. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.